My nose is starting to itch. Somebody's talking about us.
Oh, somebody's talking about you.
Somebody's talking about us.
Here we go. What if it let us do the pop out anymore? Guys, give us just a minute here. We're trying to see.
Hello, everybody.
Nope, looks like we're still blank.
It did it one time. I don't know why it's not doing it now. You got to fix your pop thing.
I'll restore it. Hang on. Give me just a minute. There we go.
He's
Click one thing, something
everything.
else clicks off. You click something, one thing clicks off. Anyway, hello everybody. Danny and Wanda again here from the big old
Deep South
Homestead.
The Deep South.
The Deep South. Yep.
Y'all know Walmart carried them shirts last year?
That's right. We actually got this at Walmart. We were pretty popular to get into Walmart. Yeah.
Actually, we are in Deep South, Mississippi.
Hey.
It says Deep South, Mississippi. And at the bottom it says, hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
And the 1817
is when Mississippi was formed.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling me to open widgets here.
No.
We ain't gonna do it. I ain't doing nothing it tells me to do. I ain't doing nothing nobody tells me to do.
That's about true.
Ain't that about right? That's about who I am.
I can manipulate him.
She can manipulate me now. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
I can. Just saying.
Well, let's see here.
We got people from everywhere.
We got people from everywhere.
How are we doing? We tired?
We are wore out, Barbara.
It's been a long week.
Yep.
Nothing's been exactly what we thought it would be. Everything's been crazy this week. We kind of thought we had the week planned, and nothing happened the way we thought it would.
Nothing worked out like it was supposed to.
I mean, not that it's bad.
No.
But we thought the first of the week we would have tile in for the bathroom, and we would get to put our tile in the bathroom this week, and the tile came in.
Yeah, it was packaged very poorly when it got here.
It was slate, and it was all crumbly. It wasn't broken, but the slate was breaking off of it.
Pieces of it was breaking off everywhere.
And it was the color we wanted, but we did not want that. We didn't want broken slate. So we called them to get them to take it back. And
well, guess what? You can't return anything to Home Depot right now.
Unless we go to the store.
Unless you take it to the store. They said, now, I want you to listen to what they told me. Wanda made me get off the phone with them, because when I get on the phone, I can get completely irate. I become a different human being.
I made him hang up.
She made me hang up. I mean, she got all teary-eyed and everything on me, made me hang up, because I lose it, you know. They told me, they said, we can't send a driver to pick it up from your property because it'll be cross-contaminated. During the coronavirus time, we're liable to get a cross-contamination. But you can bring it back to the store. And I'm like, what? I was like, I can take it to the store and it's not cross-contaminated, but if your driver picks it up, it is? You know what I mean? I was just losing it completely.
And we ordered the new tile.
Yeah, we went ahead and ordered the new stuff.
And I said, so when the driver gets here with the new tile, just let him pick up the old tile. Nope. He can drop off the new tile, but he can't pick up the old tile.
Right. It might be cross-contaminated in case we have COVID-19. They don't want to give it to the driver. Stupidest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Crazy.
Now, the next thing is they said, but get this, you have 180 days to return it.
I'm not sure we're even live. Are we live, guys?
Yeah, they've been saying hello to us.
Okay.
And 180 days. I said, what? I got to wait 180 days to take it back for you to come get it? And they said, oh, no, Mr. King said, hopefully in a couple of weeks the state will open up everything where we can go back and start picking up things. And I said, and where am I going to be on the list at? Like number 900,226 down the line?
And where do we store this extra tile?
And where do I put this tile? You know, I mean, this stuff, my tractor would barely pick it up. I was just like, I was just in a bad situation. If I hadn't already put it on my credit card, I would have just done away with it.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, if you don't come get it, I'll take it, bust it up, and put it in the bottom of the holler and put it in the hole somewhere.
We have no chat, no nothing.
What?
We have no chat. It's blinking yellow and red.
What do you mean we have no chat? I'm sitting here watching it go by.
It's not connected.
Oh. Well, That's because we have weather.
Unexpected.
Unexpected weather. It was pretty and sunny all day today. Wind blowing like crazy. And right before we get ready to live stream, the weather starts moving through just south of us, and that's right where the satellite is south of us. So
I'm not sure if we. It says we're green right now.
Yeah, but hang on. Let me do something
what you
here.
Do?
Let me see what I can do.
Y'all, I'm eating an Oreo because I was hungry, and I bought Oreo for
Come on.
What do you call it?
Kick back in for me here.
The Oreos are my comfort food that I bought before the COVID-19 so that I would have something to snack on occasionally. And I have them rationed out. Somebody said spray it down with bleach and it's good to go. Buffering. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that would work. Okay. I had to go into the computer and do some stuff again, as usual. And what else did what else wasn't working right for us this week? We did get to pick a lot of food in our garden, though. I want to say that. I want to praise the Lord for giving us some of the best food we have ever grown.
It looks awesome right now. And we have a tornado warning one day, early morning.
Yeah, we had an early morning tornado warning.
And we just knew, well, we had a tornado warning last weekend, and then we had one morning this week. So 2 within a week. And we were worried about the greenhouse. We were worried about the corn and the peas and all that. But it's always fine. Kind of crazy, but we didn't have a tornado here. But we did have a wind for a little while, and it didn't mess anything up. We were like crazy. There should be a chat. You may have to refresh.
Just hit refresh. That's where I have to do it.
Yeah. Service was bad before the quarantine. Now it's an excuse not to do their job. Well, that was the other thing.
That is the next thing. Let me see if I can get this story right. We decided, well, I met the new neighbor up the road. He talked about our other neighbor. He was wanting internet, and I told him, I said, for God's sake, you just moved in the wrong place in the world to have internet, you know. And he said, well, I talked to your other neighbor there, and he told me he has Viastat. And he really loves it. I was like, really? So I called Viastat myself and set up everything. And I told him, I says, I'd like to try your system. Come out and set me up a satellite. Let me see how it works. If I like it, you know, we'll just do away with HughesNet Gen 5 and we'll go with yours. They said, fine. They took all the information, run my credit. He says, whoa, you don't even know a down payment on it. We can just send it straight through. And I'm like, good. So he said, we can schedule you really quick. We're going to get a man out there Saturday morning between 8 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you, Keith.
To install your new satellite system. And I was like, wow, well, that was fast.
It is now 8:08, and we have not seen anybody at all day.
We've been sitting here all day.
No
we ain't been sitting here. We've been working, but
no phone call, no email.
No email, no phone call, no nothing. Now, we did get an
email.
No
satellite.
We did get an email. We got an email at 11:30 that told us that he would be there between 8 and 11.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry.
We did.
We got one that said.
We did.
And I checked even a few minutes ago to make sure that the date was right. I went back to the email and looked, and it said the 25th. And I looked on my computer to make sure today was the 25th, that I did not have my days mixed up, because we tend to do that sometimes. Yeah. And it'll be our luck. He'll show up sometime tomorrow.
He'll probably show up on Sunday. I mean, well, who knows? I told Wanda, I said, I went up and closed the gate. I said, you know what? With a company reputation like that, I don't even know if I want him to come back out here. I mean, I don't even know if I want him now. Yeah, it's just one of those things.
I sent him an email today, said I was very unhappy with the service already. So I don't know. And then on top of that, our cow.
Our cow.
Last week, she looked like she was about ready to pop. Her back end was swollen. Her bag was swollen. So we kept waiting all week. Kept waiting. Bad storms. Danny goes, oh, she's going to have that cow.
She'll have that calf right in the middle of the worst storm that there is.
Shouldn't have it. Every time we go check her, she's out there. She's just munching away, chewing her cud. She's fine and dandy. Yesterday, Danny goes, she just cannot go much longer. She's going to pop. Today, she's still going. So she started distancing herself early morning.
Yeah, this morning she started staying off on the hill back there by herself. I told Wanda, I said, oh, today's the day.
Today's the day. It is 8:10.
8:10, and as of 7:45, she hadn't had it.
No baby.
No baby. Deborah Oster saying no to the Vistat. Bad, bad, bad.
Really? Well, we've checked into all kinds, even the one Dr. Rick said, and that one, they need a cell tower for us to bounce off of. The problem is when I talk to the guy, we're on a hill. We're on this side of the hill.
We're on the back side of the hill from all the towers.
The towers are on this side. It won't shoot through the hill we can't get it to work. So there's no point in us trying that one because they bounce off cell towers. We have absolutely no cell tower service whatsoever. Yeah. We can't make a phone call. When I call somebody, they can't hear us. So.
Well, it's a thank you,
Den
Dejin?
Yes, something
Desjardins? Desjardins, however you say that.
Vistat was what they had. It was bad. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, Danny's done made his mind up that we haven't spent any money.
I ain't spent no money.
Anything.
I
signed
told him,
no papers.
I ain't signed no papers. I said, I will not sign a paper until you come here, you hook it up, and I flip on live stream and let me see if it'll live stream. If it live streams and there ain't no buffering or nothing like that, we'll talk.
Yeah. We're just kind of,
Wanda, have you heard from Miss Lippy?
Lippy and Buddy had major damage yesterday. It damaged the house. It damaged most of her garden. A lot of her fruit trees.
The shop,
Buddy's truck, her daughter's house, everything. They had a lot of damage yesterday. So y'all pray for them. She was dealing with insurance and stuff today. And I haven't talked to her late to see what's going on and what they found because she said once the insurance guy got through, they were going to try to pick up as much and see what kind of stuff they could salvage. So y'all just pray for Gemini Homestead because it was pretty rough. And the hail, she held up her hand. The hail was two big old, like,
Two of them wouldn't even hardly fit in the palm of her hand.
Yeah. It was huge. The hail was really bad, and it was 80-mile-per-hour winds, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Can I plant 2 tomato plants?
Hold on. How do I keep my Alexa Pure from leaking? Where is it leaking from? Around the spigot? If it is, you got to get a stainless steel spigot to go in it.
Yes, they had a bad batch of spigots.
Or call the company. The company will send you a new one.
And they will send you a new one. If that's one from that batch, they'll send a new spigot. Just call the company.
And said, don't worry, there'll be thousands of satellites with 5G. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Talking to the phone guy. The phone guy. George. George told me that the phone company is no longer working and training their people to do landlines anymore or anything like that. All new personnel in the phone companies have been trained for 5G wireless internet now. Only a few of them left on the service team can get out to work on the landlines that are in place because they're the only ones who understand it. They are the only one who knows it. And if you have a problem, then it will be a long time before one of them can actually get out because there are only a few of them doing all of them now.
Some people have good service with Vistat.
Thank you, the I am of me.
Richard said we need to put it on a pole like Green Acres. That's what I told Danny I wanted it up in the air. I don't know that we can do that. I think our trees are part of the problem, but I don't know. Because we had really good service with HughesNet up until about 6 months ago.
Panhandle Homestead said they sent me one and it still leaks. Go on Amazon. Is it in the link down here below this?
I don't remember.
There's one on Amazon that's a stainless steel one we put in ours.
Yeah.
And we have had no problems with it whatsoever. You just in our video with the
I
Alexa
think
Pure.
it's down with the Alexa Pure in the description, but I can't guarantee you that. If not, go back to our video with the Alexa Pure. It's in that description, I know. And
Right.
I think I put
But
it.
the stainless steel in ours has not leaked yet. So
Not
I mean,
once.
but the plastic one that came with it did leak. I will say that. Yes, it did.
Yeah. I would contact the company about that anyways.
Yeah, I would contact them
because
anyhow.
they will make it right.
They'll make it right. Adam will. I'm pretty sure Adam will make it right.
Yeah.
Um.
So guys, there's so much going on. I mean, Deep South just kind of
look.
You know, we've been canning.
Deep South this week has been in a mad rush. I mean, and I have to give God all the praise and all the glory and all the honor, because our food system here is just kicking it right now. I mean, we've already harvested close to 60 pounds of fingerlings. A freak thing, we had a storm come through. We got 2 3/8 inch of rain in like 45 minutes, and it washed all the dirt off of our potatoes on our fingerlings. So we had no way to get in and cover them back up. So we had to dig the 2 little small rows of fingerlings that we had, and we got 60 pounds of fingerlings off of 2 small rows.
Yeah. Somebody was asking something, and I can't roll it back. Y'all gonna have to pop it back up. Oh, sweet potato slips. They want to know how long the sweet potato slips. Theirs are 5 inches before they start harvesting them to plant.
You can harvest them at any point, as long as they have roots on them. If you pull them out and they got good roots on them, you can plant them. It don't matter if they're 4 inches or if they're 10 inches. I mean, as long as the root system is good, put them in the ground.
And so I got the case sale where I got pineapples and apples and butter. From Amanda went and got that from Amanda from Freedom Acres. And I have canned butter. I have dehydrated apples twice. I have made applesauce. What else did I do? I made pickles one day. I made relish today. I've canned English peas 2 different times. No, this was the third time.
This was the third time.
This is the third time.
Third time we canned
English peas, and now we've got the potatoes to go. So I have been in a canning craziness for 2 weeks now.
Jan wants to know, is there a current promo code for Alexa Pure?
It's just Deep South, I think. Now we have, if you go on our site, Water with Deep South.
It's Water with Deep South will take you to.
It's waterwithdeepsouth.com. It's a page. And then on that page, you can click on there and go to the My Patriot Supply and shop all you want.
You get a 25% discount on this one?
I think so.
I think this is the one we worked out where there was a 25% discount.
It's 20 or 25. I can't remember. It was a pretty good discount. So, but go to Water with Deep South, and then at the top somewhere there's something you click and go to My Patriot Supply, and you can shop for anything other, including the water.
Yeah, you can shop for anything on there. Yeah, it's really a good site. My Patriot Supply has. Wanda and I have gotten so much stuff through My Patriot Supply to try to help us with the prepping here. We found there's lots of stuff on there that we can really use. The Alexa Pure was our first purchase. It's turned out to be a lifesaver at the cabin. I mean, literally, we were having to just fight with water at the cabin.
Tote water all the time.
We still tote water. We still tote water, but the Alexa Pure stays full all the time.
And when I go, I can just get fresh water.
We can turn the spigot on. We get fresh filtered water there because we don't have a well at the cabin or anything like that, and it's really working out really good. We're hoping to have some videos up here before long. We're looking at getting us another. They call them a solar generator, but they're not really. They're a battery pack type generator system. It's a lot larger. We're hoping to be able to get that in and be able to do some more videos on living off grid with just battery power like that, the DC power. So we're hoping to get that in the near future. Of course, now if you're on Patreon, You're going to get to see everything first on Patreon. I'm just going to tell you all that because the patrons get to see it all first. The patrons get the snippets of everything we do, like the vanity top that I made this past week. Patrons got to see all that before anybody else did.
Well, we're still working on it.
We're still working on it.
We'll get it there. Is it possible to can milk at home? A lot of people do. I've not done it because we don't drink milk. I usually buy almond milk. The only reason we wanted the cows was for cheese and butter. And so we just hadn't started milking them yet. We've had so much going on. Danny milked Dolly a few times, but we still letting the baby nurse.
Yeah.
We're being slow to
Nadia
wean her.
says, Wanda, can you can frozen mixed vegetables? If you can, what is the procedure? Well, yeah, you can them.
Just thaw them out, and you don't want to put them in a jar frozen. What I would do is put them in some hot water.
Put them in some warm water
for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And then take them out. And if you're going to can them in water, put fresh hot water. Don't use the water you blanched them in. Use fresh hot water on it, or either if you have broth, can it in broth, whichever way you're going to do it. Add some salt and can it like you would regular veggies. Yeah, it's kind of little.
It's little. I have to get up where I can really see it. Adelia, is that how it says? They're thinking about getting a rocket stove, but we love ours.
Yeah.
We love our rocket stove.
ABCXYZ said they ordered some taquino. That's what I'm drinking right now. The Maca.
Yeah, it's the Maca.
Maca chocolate. It's really good. I've got a variety. I've got several variety packs. I like my taquino because it doesn't make me hyper, and I can go to bed as soon as I drink a cup.
There's a comment there that says that you can freeze milk. Now, freezing milk is what I used to always do whenever I had my goat farm here and I milked goats and sold the milk. I would always freeze it in half-gallon jugs, and people would just buy it from me like crazy straight out of the freezer.
All right, can you can on a glass top stove, and for how long for jams and jellies? We do everything on a glass top stove.
We do everything.
We have a whole canning list, canning playlist. Type in canning Deep South Homestead in a search engine for YouTube, and it'll bring up our canning list, our playlist, and we've canned almost anything, whether it's pressure canning or water
bathing, either one.
Jams and jellies is according to what you put it in it. Most of them water bath for 10 minutes, some of them 15. And so you just have to check what jam or jelly that you do. I mean, I can't give you a time specific for that, but I water bath and I pressure can on a glass top.
We've been doing it now for what, about 14 years or?
You and I have been together 7, and you were doing it.
I was doing it 10 years before you came along, so close to 7.
Ever how long you've had that?
Yeah, I had that stove since I built the house, so 17 years, yeah.
A long time.
Yeah. And it's been doing fine. Now, you don't want to set a coal pot on a hot stove, or, you don't want to drop something on it or drag your pot across it. You want to pick your pots up and set them down. I mean, it's just common sense, mostly with a glass top.
Yeah. So we've been canning. I don't have a problem. I do it all the time.
Now, Redeemed Acres says she was told hers is heavy. Now, if you have the All-American canner, it's possible that it would be too heavy. Now, we just use a Presto 7-quart canner. Yeah. We keep it light. It works really good. We don't have any problems.
Yeah, I see Plant Planet Farm is looking for a couple of hogs, so if anybody's got any.
Yeah, if any of y'all have any pigs, I've seen it come by there, so it's really good. Chip Signal, thank you so much.
For 500 viewers. Thank you. I guess he's saying that we have 500 in the room. Wow. We can't see the number. So.
I can't see it. We have it all covered up with our screen here, so I can't see it.
Yeah. Somebody asked earlier, before the stream started, about potatoes. Now, they couldn't find our canning potatoes. Type in canning potatoes Deep South, and it should bring it up. The video is actually not just how to can potatoes. It was potatoes. I think it was harvesting, canning, and preparing potatoes is the title of it. And I show you how to can. But there should be canning potato videos. I can the fingerlings, and So canning potatoes is in there, but I blanch them, 3 minutes?
Just a couple of minutes, yeah.
The book says 10 minutes.
Don't
and
do
if
that.
you do that, you've got mashed potatoes.
You'll have mashed potatoes. Don't do it.
So what we usually do is about 3 minutes, leave your potatoes in there, take them out, can them up with your hot broth, not the water that you just put them in. Have fresh water. I'm just telling you, don't ever put your veggies in something and take it out unless you're making broth or soup or something, and it calls for that. I use fresh water, hot potatoes, salt, and can for 40 minutes. That's in a pressure canner. Do not water bath vegetables.
Okay, now the question was asked, I think it was Nadia, went way back, said she has corn in her mixed vegetables. Do you pressure can it for the long length of time? If corn is, look at your vegetables, whichever vegetable has the longest length of time to be pressure canned, and corn would be it. I think it was an hour and a half. Hour and a half, I believe it is, yeah. Then you have to go the full hour and a half for all of them.
Yes. Do we have a canning book? No. I
you
recommend...
all have. No, they're making a comment. You all have a canning book. In other words, if you go look, we have a.
Oh, but the deal is, I recommend the Ball Blue Book. We have 3 old ones.
We got 3. Yes.
And you can find them online. If you go to Amazon, you can find them. Usually they're secondhand. They're just as good. The information's still good, and you can get them for a fraction of the price these new books are. And the information's going to be the same. So get a Ball Blue Book.
Richard said, I'll go halves on a hog. I'll take the end that don't eat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. What is going to happen in the fall when this thing comes back? Well, you probably find out over on Patreon. Let me put it that way.
It's going to get
rough. Ugly.
That's why we said grow something.
Grow, and look, stock up on your meat now. Listen to me. I told Patrons, stock up on your meat now. There's things coming down the pipe, guys. I'm not talking about it on here, but there's things coming down the pipe that you'll be glad you bought your meat now. Wanda and I just bought a whole cow.
Yeah.
And we're going to divide it with Freedom Acres. And each one of us gets a half a cow, and we're going to put it in the freezer because we know what's coming.
Yes, and you want to, if you prep, I would say you need to be prepping. Everybody needs to be prepping.
Everybody.
But at least keep you a supply of the things that you can't grow. And if you don't grow anything, then get you a supply of what you eat and what you need health-wise, because that includes hygiene, water. I mean, just because you can turn a faucet on right now, don't expect forever that faucet to be working. You better be thinking ahead on water, food, hygiene, clothes. I mean, last year, even before all this happened, last year I went and bought Danny some long johns, extra things like that, because who knows in the future, because they come from overseas.
Right.
If you look at your clothes, guess where they come from? They come from overseas. Most all your clothes are made overseas. You hardly ever get something made in America unless it's like a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, I mean,
a specialty, something that
something simple. Seems like Americans are simple today.
Yeah, and so we even bought extra pairs of shoes and put a couple of pair up in the closet just in case, because shoes is another thing. Guess who makes all the shoes? You know, it's one of those things that, when you start thinking about it, razors, what else? I can't, my mind's going blank, but lots of things. So,
something that really caught us off guard, and y'all are going to laugh at this when I tell you. But I got out of the shower the other night, and I said, it's been like a month. Well, it ain't been a month ago, has it?
It's going toward a month.
It's going toward a month. They've already come in. Okay.
Yeah.
I got out of the shower, and I opened a drawer, and I said, Wanda, I said, where's the Q-tips at?
And I said,
and she said, I've got plenty of them. They're in the shelf in there. I'll go get them for you. Hold on. Well, she fumbled around, and she come back in there, and she said,
We don't have any.
We don't have none. I'm like, what? I said, how is it that we miss Q-tips? I told her, I said, what am I going to do? I got water in my ears. You know, I said, I'm not one of these who pour alcohol down their ears. I said, I like to clean my ears out. Every time I take a bath, I like to clean my ears. Because I get dirty during the day. I get really dirty. And so I told her, I said, we're not going to town and buy them. Because might as well go get on the internet. I said, I want you to buy enough so that we don't have to worry about it.
How many did I buy?
So now, we have enough Q-tips to last till I live to be 100 years old, I guess.
I think it was like 3,000. Was it?
Yeah, we got close to 3,000 or 4,000 Q-tips.
I think I got 6 boxes, so it was 3,000 Q-tips.
I'm like,
it was a double pack, and I ordered 3 packs.
Yeah.
So I ended up with
3
6.
double packs. We got 6 big things of Q-tips. I got enough Q-tips to Q-tip the world.
There's the little things that you don't think about.
Yep.
I mean,
even someone like us, that just slipped right by us.
Yeah, because I thought I had extra. I know I have like cotton balls and things like that I bought and have, because we don't use that very often. And a box of Q-tips lasts, 100 of them last
for
months.
long, yeah.
You just don't think about it, you know?
The off-grid catchment system at the cabin is working great. It is completely full, and one little rain filled it up, or actually 2 rains filled it up.
Yeah.
It's been overflowing like crazy. We need more catchment systems. If we had 2 or 3 more totes, I could tie them all together, and we'd have enough water to go a long time.
Yeah. And one of the things that Danny and I talked about, and it really struck home today when Lippy from Gemini Homestead sent me a message first thing this morning about her having the damage from the weather yesterday. Danny and I talked about it. Our gardens are so beautiful right now. They are looking awesome. And we were looking at them, and Danny was looking there yesterday, and he goes, we've not harvested for most of this. So right now it's just pretty plants. It all could change in a blink of an eye.
One storm can change it all.
It can change everything.
Yep.
So just because you have beautiful plants, don't expect a harvest. It could be insects. We are seeing insects like crazy already. It could be weeds. Danny found some kind of weird weed a while ago. They can take over a place in a heartbeat, and it's hard to get them gone. It could be animals. We have deer, rabbits, coons, possums.
Mama Tried said, have you ever pressure canned on a turkey fryer? No, we haven't, but we saw Amanda from Freedom Acres did it this past week.
Yeah.
Paul made her a device to go around that turkey fryer so that to block the wind off of it. Mm-hmm. And Amanda pressure canned, I think it was apple butter, I believe she did. I was over there right when she got through, and it turned out it turned out great. I asked her, I said, did you have to fool with the regulator much and all? And she said, no. Well, she said, once I got it adjusted, it worked perfect.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know, does it matter with a cow whether it's grain or grass fed?
Yes.
Well, explain when you get through eating.
Okay. I've raised cows my whole life. In the wintertime, if cows are on ryegrass or winter grass, whatever you want to call it, and they're grass-fed and you butcher that cow during the wintertime, that's some of the worst tasting meat you'll ever taste. It tastes just like eating grass. People say, oh, I want grass-fed cow. I want grass-fed beef. Well, let me tell you something. Grass-fed beef is some of the worst tasting meat you'll ever eat. Now, I've had buffalo that's just been free-ranged on grass and no grain, and it's been perfectly fine. I've eaten cow that was grass-fed with no grain given whatsoever. It tasted horrible. What we like to do is we let ours free-range, and we grass-feed them all the way up to about 2 weeks before the end. And about 2 weeks before the end, we give them some grain to kind of give them that little bit of boost of fat right there at the end, so that the fat's where your taste comes from. Chip, thank you once again for that.
600 viewers. There were questions here. Y'all gonna have to put them in caps because when he's talking, I can't remember. Somebody asked, do we have problem with deer? Occasionally.
Sometimes they come in, but if we see them, we shoot them.
Then somebody asked, do we have fences around our gardens?
No.
Not around the gardens. We have our whole perimeter of our place, and we don't have free-range animals. People think we free-range everything. We get all kinds of weird comments. Our chickens are in a house that has netting around it and
we let
over
them out.
The top. And I do free-range
we
them,
do
but
let them
not
out
all
in free
the time.
range, and they don't go to the gardens. They just stay right there around the chicken house. They stay right behind our house right here, right under our fruit trees
They
and
went
stuff.
into my herb garden.
They get into Wanda's herb garden occasionally, and Wanda has to go run them out. But other than that, that's
they don't get off because the gardens are way over that way and way out that way and way out that way. I don't let them free range like all day long by themselves. They stay out a couple of hours and I shoo them back in.
Yeah.
And then the cows have their own pastures, so they're not free ranging where our food is.
But they free range.
Yeah, but not in where the gardens
Not
are.
where the garden is, but they have their own fenced-in pastures. I mean, they're just free to roam. I mean, we don't go out and dump corn to them every day.
Yeah.
You know?
So we let our cows just have run of all the pastures.
Right.
And that is the whole perimeter.
Now we do section them off. We don't let,
that's what I was going to say.
They don't just run in all the pasture. In other words, they.
We have set.
We have padlocks. In other words, they have paddocks. They go in this one for a while, then they can go in the next one for a while, and 2 or 3 days down the road, they'll make it to the one over yonder, and then we bring them all the way back over here and start over again.
All right. Do we do any container gardening in the greenhouse? Yes, we do. We have videos of our greenhouse on the back of the barn where we have grown things in containers for 3 years now?
3 to 4 years in that one.
And we had great success during the winter only. We have the new greenhouse. We're container growing in it right now, and we're hoping to go through the summer with the greenhouse. It's going to be one of those trial and errors with our heat.
Somebody's asking us what do we do to keep the stink bugs and stuff like that. Guys, I'll be honest with you.
Ants and stink bugs.
We don't spray anything. Literally, we don't. We just hand pick stuff and take them to the chickens. Another question a while ago was, someone asked what breed of chickens do we use? We have the ISA Browns. They've been laying eggs now for 2 years. We just bought Rhode Island Reds because that's what the store had, and we were kind of freaky that day and bought them.
With all that was going on.
With all that was going on, because we didn't know if we could order or not. And Rhode Island Reds are a good layer too. Have you thought about running the chickens behind the cows to reduce flies? Yeah, but the chickens just don't seem to want to stay with the cows.
And the cows don't know what a chicken is.
The cows don't like the chickens being in the field. They take off after them and run them, so the chickens don't want to stay in the fields because they don't want to get run. So
they don't like each other, let's put it that way.
What do I feed? What do you feed to 2 or 4 month old fruit trees? We really, for the first 2 to 4 months, we don't feed them anything, to be honest with you. I like for my trees to do what I call go grocery shopping. I mean, when we first plant our trees in the ground, I like for them to be able to just go out and start hunting stuff and get a good root system established. And after they're about 6 months old, I'll put a little fertilizer around them, like cow manure and stuff like that around them, so that when it rains, it kind of makes a T going down into the ground.
Yeah, I'm sitting here laughing at some of the comments. They said the grass-fed beef, said it was tasted yucky.
I'm just being honest. I mean, I'll tell you the honest truth.
Homestead said they're lurking.
Do y'all plant marigolds for pest control, and does it work? We have marigolds in the greenhouse. We don't seem to have a lot of pests in the greenhouse right now.
But we've only had it for a month and a half, 2 months.
Well, I mean,
we're just getting used to the greenhouse, so
but we don't have any pests in it yet. As a matter of fact, I caught lizards and put them in my greenhouse because lizards eat flies and stuff like that, and the lizards they're loving it in the greenhouse. They just love it.
Yeah. We had the starting of the white flies. We put all the pretty plates and yellow stuff in there, and so far, that's under control.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely under control. Yeah.
Whether
Matter
it's
of fact, I don't even see them anymore.
I didn't see any at all when I was out there. I went and sat in my swing in the greenhouse today for a while, and then I got up and walked around and checked leaves and stuff like that, and I did not find any aphids. I didn't find any white flies.
No, it's been really
and
nice.
So it was pretty warm in there today. It got
up in the 90s today.
Yeah, but I mean the wind was blowing, so it didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
And we've got a new addition to the greenhouse. We just hadn't had time to get the video done. And you got another addition coming up? Yeah.
Yeah.
The water system, right?
I've got an irrigation system that I'm fixing to start building to go in the greenhouse. I've got a fan system that I'm installing. I've got a lighting system that I'm installing.
We did show the lighting.
But I haven't got the power down there yet. So I've got to get the power ran so that one day we're going to show the fan, the lighting, the water. We're going to show the whole works in the greenhouse and how we have it set up. And we also have a new plan in the very near future for a second greenhouse.
Why would garlic be turning yellow? The tips?
It's probably because it's not far from being ready to be harvested.
Okay.
Did we try diatomaceous earth for pest control? We've tried it for years. We have no luck with it.
Do the lizards get stuck on the Vaseline sticks?
No, they don't seem to mess around with the Vaseline sticks. They always like on the cucumber plants, and they just climb through the beans and up through the tomatoes and stuff like that, just looking for flies.
I told him he needed to name them because we have green lizards everywhere, so he's catching them and putting them in there. And I said, you need to start naming your lizards so we know what they are. Because he goes in there and looks around to see if they're eating bugs.
I do. I see them all the time in there. I'll look at one of them. He'll be creeping along there, and all of a sudden you see him just jump out like that, and he'll have a fly in his mouth and sitting there eating him. So they're getting it. How can we tackle the dreaded powdery mildew? Powdery mildew is caused by a couple of different things. One is high humidity. Secondly is poor airflow. Powdery mildew, like this morning, I went up this morning and I pruned all of our squash plants this morning so that air could flow through them freely to prevent them from getting powdery mildew. I do the same thing with the cucumbers in the greenhouse. I keep them pruned.
I got pictures.
Oh, we got pictures, don't we?
Yeah, let me see if I can find the greenhouse.
I'll just start at the bottom and we'll just go through it.
I'll start up here with the greenhouse. Y'all, that's our thumbnail. Look at that cucumber.
Look at that cucumber plant on the right-hand side. It's done growing up. It's fixing to start running across the pipes and across the 2x4s and all in there. That thing is going crazy.
And I'm telling you, I've never seen cucumbers grow that fast. I got 3 cucumbers today. Let me show you.
Look it off. There you go.
Danny went out there. This thing was what?
6 inches long.
6 inches long.
Good 6 inches long.
And Danny says, I see one cucumber. Well, then he saw another one that was probably at least 6 inches long. And he says, well, you have 2 good cucumbers. And he pulled off a leaf at the bottom. Well, I skipped one.
You skipped one. You can't leave both of them open. You got to close one.
Okay. At the bottom, when he pulled a leaf off, this one had to have been what?
Oh, that
2.5, 3 inches around.
That was probably 2 or 3 inches in diameter, yeah.
And then about 6 to 7 inches long. It was huge.
It was huge.
And then it had the little one beside it. And so we have 3 plants in there, and 2 of them are the pickling cucumber, and 1 of them is the stonewall. And between what I got out of the greenhouse and what I got in both the front and the cabin garden, I got a whole bunch of cucumbers, and I made relish today. So that was really cool.
That was really cool. Now, what is this? Fresh?
That was my plate today.
That was Wanda's meal today that she ate. Everything was from Deepsouth Homestead's own garden.
Except for the asparagus. The asparagus is dilled asparagus.
Yes, that was.
Dilled asparagus that I got from the hardware store. They carry that. It was rainbow chard from my GreenStalk. I had a radish from the GreenStalk. A bell pepper from the GreenStalk, a tomato from the GreenStalk, The carrot came out of a raised bed that when I was planting peas today, there was a carrot left in the bed. The cucumbers came from the greenhouse, and the onion came out of my GreenStalk. So I thought that was pretty cool. So you can grow food in a GreenStalk, guys. Just saying.
Okay, Janet says, how do we keep weed cover anchored? We use 6-inch fabric staples.
Yeah. All right, so let's back up.
Do we peel the cucumbers before you make relish?
No. I take the seeds out. That's what was on my plate was the seed part. I cut the seeds out and put them on my plate to eat. And I only use the rest of it for making relish. I've got a video coming up this week on Crazy Days. Y'all, that's our blue tomatoes.
Yep, this is them things. They were standing up about 3 feet tall. They all laid down on the ground, and now they're just running everywhere.
Yeah, and so we had to sneak a few. And this is what they look like boiled. And I put some butter and salt in them. And putting them in your mouth, you're seeing a blue something.
Yeah.
But if you close your eyes and just put it in your mouth and eat it, it is a potato. It tastes like a potato. It really is good. I promise you.
Danny, how often do you fertilize your veggies? Once every 2 weeks.
All right, so
if tomatoes are burning up, you might want to shade your plants from 8 a.m. I saw it go by. I didn't get a chance to really see what it said though. The question.
Now this is our
English peas. Look at the peas on these jokers, guys.
The picture doesn't really do it justice. You really have to see it in person. But each one of these vines had just lots and lots of peas on them. It was you just saw a wall of peas the other morning before we picked, and they're probably like that again.
I looked at them this afternoon. By Monday, we're going to we picked 8 gallons of English peas our last picking, and which was our biggest picking yet. And probably come Monday, we'll probably pick at least 8 gallons again.
And I canned English peas, but I also did a couple of jars with English peas and potatoes. And I wanted to know by putting the English peas on bottom and the potatoes on top, or the potatoes on bottom and the English peas on top, would it make a difference? Would they mix? How it would do? Well, when they came out of the canner, they looked just like this. They stayed separated. Nothing changed. It was really amazing. So it's just one of my weird experiments that I did just to see.
Somebody said, wow, I just saw 666 in the chat. I have a video over on Patreon where Microsoft just patented 666. You might, if you're interested in that, I talk about it and how it ties in with biblical stuff. And a lot of people didn't know that Microsoft even patented 666. Matter of fact, it's a very interesting video. I'll say that.
All right, now this is our squash. We have a video, I think Monday, coming up on the squash and stuff. Isn't that it?
Yeah, I think
so. The squash is starting to make. We have some beautiful plants. We harvested this much squash yesterday.
And we forgot to pick today, so there's probably 10 times that many now.
Tomorrow there'll be a lot of squash. It is really looking good.
Do we have a lemon tree? The question is. Yes, we have a Meyer lemon in the greenhouse, and it is loaded with blooms.
And this was something after the storm that Danny had to do.
Yep.
He had to pull some of these onions. If you watch the video.
I had to go pull some of them poor onions out of the ground. We have a video up on it showing the problems we had and why we had it. Hold on. What could be causing brown edges on our cucumbers? We have the brown edges on our cucumber leaves. I do not know what it is. I'm sure it's some kind of little blight that's happening to them. But we don't worry too much about it. Is it too hot to leave the leaves on my tomatoes or burning up and they are shade half a day?
It's so hot that they're burning up, even in shade.
I guess you're going to have to put a shade cloth over them then or something. Or try to figure out some way to shade them then.
We've not had any issues with squash bugs
Nope,
yet.
we haven't had no issues with squash bugs yet. I put aluminum foil around the bottom of all my squash plants, and so far, it seems like that is really working.
So these onions were really big, nice onions. The ones that are still in the field, some of those are bigger than these. They're looking really good. So we're going to have some more.
Do you pee on your lemon tree? Well,
no.
No, but if I thought it would help, I would.
Yeah.
I just ordered some of those seeds after watching the video. Okay, Laura, we will continue to order them.
Do you feed the green stalks from onions to your animals? Oh,
no, we don't feed any of our animals onion stalks. No, they won't know but nothing to eat them. But the chickens will peck. Excuse me, will peck at them.
What crops can you recommend for container growing?
Anything.
Danny grew the best peppers last year. They look like little trees, and peppers just hung on them. So peppers will grow. Tomatoes.
Look at our greenhouse video that we got. Guys, I got tomatoes in containers in the greenhouse that look like trees.
And now, last year we
got squash in containers. I've got
yeah, but last year or the year before we
green
grew
beans. We grew green beans in containers. We grew pineapples in containers.
You're messing up my mind.
I can't help it. I'm just going down the list.
In the front, the beans. Butter peas.
Butter peas.
Butter peas will grow. Butter beans probably would grow really decent. You just got to keep a container watered. Don't let it dry out too much or everything starts dying. Is it too late to plant fingerlings in North Carolina? We just harvested ours.
That's a in North. Depends on if you're up in the mountains or if you're in the very northern part of North Carolina. It just depends. The southern part of North Carolina, I would probably say is probably late, but in the northern part, you might get away with it. How much is Patreon? If we end up wanting to cancel, is it easy to cancel? You can cancel anytime you want. It's only $3.
Yeah.
But you don't get your money back now.
A Fishes and Loaves Life. Thought I would stop in. So many people in the community love you all. Thank you for stopping in.
Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate
it. Okay, I'm trying to read what's going on here. Tomato plants like magnesium sulfate. They're asking a question.
Calcium nitrate is the best thing in the world for tomato plants. Now, tomato plants do need magnesium. We use Epsom salt. I use 1 tablespoon per gallon of water, and I put it around once every 14 days. I use the calcium nitrate once every 14 days. Works wonders. Okay, so and I use liquid phosphorus.
Let me answer this one now, right quick. Sweet potato slips on Etsy. We have sweet potato slips, but we're not going to be selling them because it is getting to the point that by shipping out live plants, we could get in trouble. We have very few seeds left that we're selling. We do have the Cherokee Tan and the Seminole and a little bit of Danny corn
left. Yeah.
And when that's gone, that's it. We won't be selling seeds anymore.
The laws in the land in the states are changing. We can be arrested for selling certain things, and we just can't take that risk.
We didn't realize how much because sweet potatoes is something that we could ship up until this year.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the laws changed, and we didn't know it till a couple of weeks ago. We found out that it changed.
Thank you, Chip.
And we were planning on selling sweet potato slips, but that all changed with the laws. We can't ship them out of Mississippi.
In the state of Mississippi, it's illegal to sell sweet potato slips unless they've been certified by the state.
Yeah. And so we found out 2 days ago that we can't get certain trees.
Yeah, we can't get certain trees.
We can't order them anymore.
We can't even order them in our state, get them in our state anymore because we don't know why.
Mississippi's changed a lot of laws all of a sudden because we went to order a couple of trees, and when we looked 3 months ago, we ordered that tree. Now we can't order it anymore. They can't ship it. They had to change it in the last 3 months. So
Cindy said, I got Cherokee Tan from Hall's Tool. We're the ones who got Hall's Tool started with the Cherokee Tans. We gave them the seeds to start them with.
Yes.
And we're glad that they have them. Where can we find Dexter cows? It depends on where you live. You just have to go and look at your market bulletins, your trading papers and stuff like that, your local newspapers to find them.
Beth, we will keep Billy.
Do we grow sugar cane? Yes, we grow sugar cane every year. We make our own syrup and everything.
We have a playlist on sugar cane.
Yeah. Heard Michigan, you can be arrested for cutting your lawn.
Yeah. Why can we be arrested for selling seeds? It's the fact that if we sell something and ship it outside of Mississippi, that they don't want us to ship.
It's because, look, I can tell you, it's because certain viruses have broken out, like Listeria, E. coli, and all these kind of things, and they've traced them back to certain seed companies, and they're trying to target them, and we don't have the finances to fight anything that big, so we'd rather just be safe than sorry.
And two, like if I ship out like some of our garlic chives, and we happen to ship some dirt with it that had fire ants in it, and you got them and you got fire ants, we have just shipped it to another state.
Yeah.
And that's where the illegal part is starting to come in. We try to be very, very careful with our plants and stuff that we ship out, but we don't want to take that risk anymore.
How old does your corn have to be for the first time you fertilize it? We fertilize our corn in 2 different stages. We fertilize it with ammonium sulfate when it's 8 inches high, and we fertilize it again with ammonium sulfate when it's a little over knee high.
All right, we have heard of the Crowder peas. I used to grow them all the time. Yep. Check with Hoss Tools. I don't know if he has the Crowder peas, but he may be planning on getting some because he's trying to do a lot of the southern peas. And what is the name of that? Shroomrays? What is
Shroomrays. Shumrays. Shroomrays.
Something like that.
Something like that.
They carry a lot of the older peas, and they would have them.
Mark, my dad's in a convalescent home also, and we're not allowed to go see him. So we haven't seen him for months.
Yes. And
how does it help putting used coffee grounds and boiled egg shells on top of the plants in a pot? Thanks for doing that. Heard it helps to fertilize them. Your advice. Thanks, George from Louisiana. We don't do coffee grounds because coffee grounds makes the soil acidic. I don't do the crushed up eggshells. The eggshells take so long to break down. If you're looking for the calcium from it, your plant's not going to get it before it dies. The only thing the crushed up eggshells is going to do is keep things like slugs and stuff like that away because they don't like crawling on the rough eggshells. But we don't even do it.
Yeah. The only thing I do with crushed eggshells lots of times is I throw them in my herb garden because the slugs and stuff are so bad, and I do throw the coffee grounds in there sometimes.
We don't grow mushrooms because it's not something that we eat.
Yeah, we don't.
We only grow what we eat.
They're saying Hoss Tools does have the Crowder type Mississippi purple hulls. Mississippi purple hulls is not what they're looking for. They're looking for what is called a Crowder pea. It's a big round fat pea. I know what they're talking about, but you check with Hoss Tools.
Mr. Danny, if I wanted to send you some sweet potato slips, I could not. That is correct.
Yeah. That's why they're...
Susan Albritton has some great Dexters in Mississippi. They will deliver outside of Mississippi for a small fee. Message me for contact info. That's good. Thank y'all for telling them that.
Yeah, because lots of people have asked about Dexters.
So. Do we grow sunchokes? No.
Have y'all grown the Reverend Taylor's butter beans? No. I've never heard of it. Usually our butter beans are a speckled butter bean, but I don't know what all I know is speckled butter bean.
Brenda says, why are my cucumber leaves turning yellow on the tips and the edges? Brenda, it could be a number of reasons. I mean, it could be a dozen different things. It could be too cool. It could be the water inconsistency. It could be the fertilizer inconsistency. It could be the wrong amount of fertilizer, the wrong kind. It could be a virus. I mean, it could be a dozen different things.
Can you grow sweet potatoes in containers?
Yes. We've done it, and it works.
The best thing for you guys to do is to find some organic sweet potatoes and grow your own slips. It's very, very easy. If you're not looking but for, say, 15, 20 slips or something, buy 2 organic sweet potatoes, put them in some dirt, and in 3 weeks, 4 at the most, you'd have all the slips you want.
Charlotte, we have the Nancy Halls. We have more white sweet potato slips right now than we'll be able to plant this year.
Danny is planting sweet potatoes everywhere. I promise y'all.
Do not use cut cardboard near plants to fend off something. I got past me before I see it. Would you like to? Would you like some?
Plant. Let me see if I can do this. Did it show it? Planet. Yeah, Planet says they can get the Crowder peas. So whoever was asking, contact them. They put up their Gmail account, and they can get you some Crowder peas.
Diane, the white sweet potatoes in the tubs will do fine. Just got to make sure you keep them watered, though. I like brown turkey and black mission fig trees. Yes, matter of fact, we bought an LSU fig tree just the other day.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it, but we're going to try it this year.
James asked about blue corn. He was asking, could he ship some? Do we have blue corn?
Yes, we have blue. We have blue corn.
We planted that last year. Yeah.
For yellow leaves, they said they use sea kelp. Okay, that's some good advice. That's usually a certain deficiency there.
Will sweet potatoes grow in half shade?
Yes. They may be a little bit thin on the vines, but they will grow.
Diane wants to know why you don't start your sweet potatoes in water.
Because God didn't grow them in water. Sweet potatoes grown in water take forever to make slips. If you put them in the dirt, I promise you, I've got 2 4x4 beds over here with sweet potato slips in them. I have planted 400 in the field already. I've given Amanda from Freedom Acres and them all they want. And I've probably still got 400 more in that bed over there to plant.
You planted nearly, 60 though out of it, on top of that 400 out here yesterday.
Oh, I did plant another 60 out here, so I probably got 460. So, and that's out of 2 4-foot-by-4-foot beds. There's no way you're going to put sweet potatoes in water and get that kind of quantity out of it. It's just not going to happen.
You would have glasses sitting everywhere.
You'd have to have a 100 by 100 living room.
And it would smell horrible. That glass of water stinks after a while.
My garlic leaves are light green. What do I need to do to get the leaves dark green? They need nitrogen and water.
Are the yellow plates helping with the aphids? I would like to try in my greenhouse. Yes.
Yes.
We told them earlier. I was out in the greenhouse earlier. I saw no aphids, no white flies, no nothing anywhere on any leaves. I was checking.
The question was asked a while ago, what is a butter pea? It is a variety of peas that is an heirloom. They're a cross between a butter bean and a pea, and they are literally delicious.
It's like a speckled butter bean, but it's almost shaped like a pea.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Country Homestead Preacher says voles ate all their sweet potatoes.
No.
They were using to grow slips.
Oh, you need to put them in pots of dirt. Get you a big giant tub and put them in it. And just make sure you keep it moist and grow them instead of putting them in the ground.
We did about 3 years ago. Off Grid Nation came in January, I believe, 3 years ago, and we put them to work helping us in the greenhouse. And we put our sweet potatoes in the containers in the greenhouse and grew more slips that year in the greenhouse in containers. You can grow them almost anywhere. Just get a pot with some dirt in it. And not a little pot like this. Get one that's kind of deep.
Get you about a 25 or 30. Take a 55-gallon drum and cut it in half. Where did it go? Where do y'all get your speckled butterbean seeds, and how large is your greenhouse? Okay, our greenhouse, first of all, is 16 by 36. We don't really buy our speckled butterbean seeds. We just have them. I mean,
we've had some for a long time.
We bought them originally from the feed store.
Yeah, we have.
But you can get them from Hall's Tool.
Yeah.
Change of subject. How is Gemini Homestead after the storm in Louisiana? Well, we said a while ago, Gemini took a lot of damage to her home. Mr. Buddy's shop. She's lost almost all of her garden. Her greenhouse blew down.
Her fruit
trees have all been destroyed. I mean,
Buddy's truck was damaged.
Everything. How long can you freeze seeds? Indefinitely.
We're hoping the cow has her calf tonight.
I'm hoping it. Yeah.
I told him she's just acting like a first-time pregnant woman. She's just
hanging in there. It's like she's so big. I'm afraid she can't have it. That's what's bothering me.
Yeah, because we don't know what the dad is. She is a Dexter, and she was in with regular cows for a short period of time, and we do not know before that what she was with, so we do not know who the dad is.
Yeah,
it's not our cow.
Yeah, Jen, you probably still have time to grow your slips, but send me an email after this.
Yeah.
Send me an email, and I'll tell you a little bit more about growing slips and what I think you can do. So send it to our email, and make sure we'll try to make sure we check and get it. And guys, let me say something. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. There's lots of people who send us emails, and they get a little frustrated because we don't always answer emails.
Guys, this pronto.
Like this, we get, I'm going to just give you an average, okay? We get an average of 100 to 150 emails every day.
And that doesn't include Facebook,
that doesn't
Instagram.
Include, right. No Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, none of that.
No YouTube.
Right. That's just strictly emails. We got like 2 or 3 different emails. 4. And all of them load up. And from gardening to canning, we just check them when we can. And if we don't get to your email, I am so sorry. But we do try.
Yeah, and I can't always answer every question. And he's not always sitting here to answer questions. And I will flag an email to ask him later, and then 100 more come on top of it. It might not ever get answered, and I'm sorry about that. It's just one of those things that when you get that many emails, it's just very, very hard.
Alabama Garden says, "Oh no, what do you do if the calf is too big?" We
will either have to help her.
I have had to pull them with a pickup truck before. I know that sounds horrible. But I pulled them with a winch.
Or either if necessary, call a vet. We have one. How far is he away? 4 miles, 5?
He's probably 5 miles away. Yeah. Do y'all grow worms? No. We have worms in our soil, but we don't grow worms.
Who won the giveaway? I've got a video. Hopefully, I'll have it up tomorrow on Crazy Days on who won the giveaway. I've got it edited. I just hadn't got it up because we thought we were going to have new internet going up today, and I was going to shoot it up right quick, and the guy never showed up. So I'm still on slow internet, and as soon as we get off, I hope to start uploading and have it up sometime tonight or tomorrow. What?
You get up so early. What time do you go to sleep? Okay. I probably go to bed around 10 o'clock at night.
But he sleeps from, no, let's just be honest. He sleeps from about 7 to about 10 on the couch. And then he gets up and goes to bed.
That's not every night, though.
Almost.
But on lots of nights, I'm working lots of times.
He'll work with, he turns the internet on and he answers questions till he falls asleep.
I do.
And sleeps.
I'll sleep for an hour or so, and then I'll wake back up, and I told her, I said, whoa. I said, I got to do something, and
when his laptop hits the floor.
When my laptop falls off and hits the floor, I'll wake up, because I literally, sometimes I sit there answering questions, and I go back to all of our videos that I can, and I try to look at questions from a year ago, videos from a year ago. People still ask questions, and I try to go back and answer them as much as I can. And my eyes just get so tired, I fall asleep.
But when we're at the cabin, it's totally different. We'll leave and go over to the cabin at least by 6, Sometimes it's 6:30, somewhere along in there. We'll do some things outside at the cabin, and once we go inside and sit down in those recliners, it's usually by 8 o'clock. We're both dozing.
Yeah.
Because there's no internet, there's no TV, there's no electricity.
There's nothing running anywhere.
Nothing but a light. That's all we have, and each other.
We have a dim light.
And I guess we bore each other so bad we go to sleep.
We just go to sleep. But now I do still wake up at between 3 and 4 o'clock, at the cabin, and I get up and I'll go either sit on the porch or I'll go in the living room or, and around 5, I usually have breakfast done or there a little bit after.
Yeah. So for the most part, I go to bed probably around 10. But if I'm editing and it's taking a while and I need to get something done, it's anywhere from 10 to 12, according to how much I have to work with the video. I'm trying to not edit so much and try to just clip things up and throw it up. So if the videos don't have the perfect quality, right, I just don't test it. And Danny catches mistakes all the time where I miss something.
But it's too late.
And it's already up, so y'all don't spaz over something weird in our videos that didn't get chopped out.
Danny, do you watch TV? No.
No. Our TV, well, actually, to show you how much we really watch TV, the other day when that tornado, we thought the bad weather was coming through, Danny says, I need to be able to track this tornado because it was going right through my kids' town, right where my kids were.
And our internet was going out.
And the internet was going out, and Danny was tracking it, and I was messaging my my daughter-in-law and telling her because they were in a basement and they had no way to know what was going on except she could get messages. And Danny was telling me where it was at, and I was relaying it to her, and then his internet went out. And I told her, I says, okay, our internet went out. I can't tell you. And we sat here, 3 or 4 minutes before we thought about the TV.
Before we even thought about turning the TV on.
And see what was going on. I mean, we forget about the TV.
We don't use it, so we forgot about it. Someone there says, what is it? The cat's meow says, I take a sleeping pill to sleep. My former wife that passed away, when I first married her, she told me the first night we were married, she took a Tylenol PM. I said, what are you doing? She says, well, I have to have a Tylenol PM to go to sleep. I'm like, what? I said, we'll fix that tomorrow. So the next day, I told her, I said, you gonna do what I tell you to do tomorrow? I said, you won't have to take that Tylenol PM ever again. And she got up the next morning. She goes, what are we doing today? I told her, I says, what I want you to do is just follow me today. Every footstep I make, you make the same footstep. By the time dark come that evening, she said, Danny, are we through? And I told her, I said, yeah. I said, we're through for a little while. And I said, you can go get you a bath, and then I'll take mine after yours. She went and took a bath, and when I come out from taking the bath, she was on the couch sound asleep. I told her, I said, look, you just ain't making enough steps in the day, and from that point forward, she never took Tylenol PM again. I mean, she just literally did. Now, thank you, Lisa. We really appreciate that.
The strong winds did not bother our greenhouse at all.
No.
I took a little bit of a video when it was raining, but I've not had to use it for anything because we were thinking of using the beginning of it because we thought the cow would have her baby that day, and I was shooting a video for that, and it didn't work. Hey, Alderman Farms.
Stacy says, do y'all have problems with deer? And if so, how do you keep them out of your garden? No, we don't have a problem with deer because if a deer steps his foot in my garden, he gets shot and we eat him. I don't care what time of the year it is. It's just the way it is at Deep South Homestead.
We have not had any in the garden. We see where they've walked before we planted.
Yeah, before we planted.
But since we planted, they've not eaten anything this year. And last year we didn't have them eat anything, I don't think.
They didn't eat nothing last year.
It's been a couple of years since one's eaten anything.
Now, we have lots of them on camera during the winter months, but they don't never fool with anything.
So Alderman Farms popped in just as we were fixing to get off. How are you guys?
They got some good videos on high tunnels. If y'all want to see some high tunnels, him and Miss Patty.
Yeah, they got theirs last year.
Yeah, they got theirs last year, and they have they got some very good videos on what they're growing in it. And they talk about how they putting the shade cloth on. I saw one of the things they put a shade cloth on the other day. Matter of fact, we sent them a message and asked them about it, and they said they were loving it. We put ours on, and we love it.
Yeah, the shade cloth is making a huge difference with it. I do believe, big difference.
Can you cabin store bought russet potatoes? Can store bought russet potatoes?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. I mean, they've been sprayed with sprout nip. Yeah, I would peel them.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave the peelings on. I would cut the peelings off and can them. A lot of people do. They have an overabundance of potatoes. If they buy like a 25-pound bag on sale, they'll can them. They may be a little more starchy than fresh potatoes, but they're still good. You can still use them any way you want with regular potatoes. Can you prune pole or bush green beans?
Can you prune pole or bush green beans? If so, how? Yes, you can prune them. Just take if they have too many leaves on them, you just take a pair of scissors and cut a few of the leaves off of them here and there so that the airflow can get through them.
Okay, so somebody had asked and I forgot. Do I sew, and if so, what kind of machine do I have? Yes, I have sewn. My mom was a seamstress. She sewed for people when I was little. She was a very good seamstress. She taught me how. When my kids were little, I sewed quite a lot. Since Danny and I have been married, I have not sewn anything. I probably hadn't sewn anything in years. It's been a long time. And I do have a sewing machine. It was my mom's.
Yeah.
I have projects I want to make. This little dress I've got on, I want to make some more of them, but I don't have time.
It just ain't enough days.
And I think it's a Singer. I think it's a Singer sewing machine. I'm not 100%, but I'm almost positive. My mom always had Singers.
Yeah, and ain't two family.
I have a feeling it is a Singer, but I can't be specific. She upgraded to a newer one and gave me this one, and this one's still a fancy one because I couldn't find where the thread went, and she had to come show me because it was hid. Yeah. I looked everywhere and couldn't find it. Had no clue.
All right, we're way past 9 o'clock. We're gonna have to get off here. These people are going to have to go to bed tonight.
What do you see coming in the future, right quick?
What do I see coming in the future? Shortages on meat, shortages on flour, shortages on lots of different kinds of food.
Yes.
And actually, water.
So be paying attention.
Be paying attention.
Keep your eyes open because even today I saw where there's a place was going to be getting rid of a lot of chickens, and it was lots and lots of chickens because they didn't have the help to keep them fed and watered and taken care of. So they're having to get rid of the chickens because they have no help. So it's going to be a snowball effect.
It's a snowball effect. I talk about it over on Patreon. Let me just say that. I got some videos over there. Matter of fact, I got some more I got to put up. So if you want to know more about that, just jump over to Patreon. YouTube is censoring stuff so bad I don't say a whole lot over here, about stuff like that.
Somebody asked about canning in an electric pressure canner. I don't know. I've never used one, so I have no clue. And I did see that Lippy put up a video. Brenda put up that Lippy put up a video. So if you guys want to know what's going on with Gemini Homestead, go over and check her video out in a few minutes.
Okay, when we get off, go check them out.
And we want to pray for everybody in the line of the storms.
And let me say something. Those that are in the central part of the United States, get ready next weekend. You're going to get it again. I'm sorry. It's anything between the 35th and the 44th parallel. I've told this on Patreon. Is the grand solar minimum. That is a zone through the country that's going to have very unpredictable weather. It's going to be very horrible weather. It's going to be very damaging weather. Anything below the 35th parallel down to where we live will probably more than likely experience a lot of droughts in the next few years. So just prepare. You know, I mean, do the best you can do. If you live between the 35th and the 44th, you might want to come up with a storm cellar or somewhere to get out of the weather at, because I'm telling you, it's going to be bad.
One thing, Country Homestead Preacher said something about butter was hard to find. I bought half a case. Amanda bought the other half a couple of weeks ago. And if you are in South Mississippi, check out Gulf Coast Produce Distributors. They have a thing on Facebook, like them on Facebook, and they put up today their new list that they're starting to take orders for, and you can start picking up Monday. And you don't have to buy a case this time. They have things in smaller quantities. Like I bought a case of apples, which was like 125 apples or 150 apples. You can get 25 apples or 3 pounds of apples or something like that. They have a better deal for smaller quantities, and butter is on the list, I believe. I do think butter and not cream cheese, maybe cream cheese, sour cream, shredded cheese. Those type things are on the list, and it's a good deal. So if you check out Gulf Coast Produce Distributors in Biloxi, Mississippi. All right.
Okay.
Pray.
We got to get out of here. We got to pray.
We've had a lot of people ask for prayers.
We've had a lot of people asking for prayers. We have lots of people who have had lots of damage from these storms, and guys, it's not going to stop. I hate to. I'm not trying to be a bearer of bad news, but
there's more coming.
There's more coming in the next week. It's not going to get much better. We had tornadoes here the other day. It's very rare for us to have them, but we do have them occasionally.
And last week it went by where my kids were. They were on the left-hand side. It went on the right-hand side. Yeah. It went through, and I think they had one death in that area. Lots of damage.
Spend your stimulus check on prepping. Hey.
Might as
we don't have one yet, so I'm not worried about it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get praying here. Father, we're so thankful and we feel so blessed. You've been so good to us. Everything here at Deep South Homestead at this moment is doing well. Father, all we can say is we want to give you the honor and glory for it. Thank you for being so good to us and for providing for us. And Lord, I ask that the ones that's here has been in the chat tonight, that you protect them from all the inclement weather that's going to be hitting our country this year. And Lord, the ones that's going to be experiencing drought, I pray, even if it's us, I pray that you help us to overcome the drought, be able to make it through it, Lord. And Father, I pray that everyone will have an abundance of food with all the shortages going on, the wheat that's being held back from Russia and, excuse me, and Uzbekistan and all these other countries that have said we're not shipping any more wheat out to the world or to the United States. And Father, knowing that the United States doesn't even have any wheat hardly planted this year, our storages are very low. There's only problems in the future. And Lord, with all the meat factories shutting down across the U.S., farmers having to euthanize their hogs, cattle industry's taking about an 80% hit. All these things, Lord, we're just praying that people have the meat that they need, that they'll be able to get their animals, and they'll be able to butcher their own if necessary, or find a local butcher who will do it for them, and that they can get in line. It took us a long time to be able to get an animal butchered, but Father, thank the Lord, we got in line, and it's now going to happen. So I pray for our subscribers and our people in the chat tonight, that they'll be able to have an abundance of food stocked up and stored to make it through these hard times. And we want to pray for Gemini, her and Mr. Buddy, as they've had damage to their place and lost a lot of their crops. Father, I pray that they'll be able to get everything mended back and be able to, if any way possible, people can ship them some food if they need it, some fresh vegetables or whatever needs to happen, Lord. May they be able to find it and have an abundance of it. Anyone else that was in the path of the storms that's had damage or loss of lives, I just pray that you take care of those families, Father. Please do it. Watch over our country, our president. Lord, this Chinese sickness that's going around. I just pray, Father, that we'll all be protected from it and not have to be bothered by it, but that we'll be immune from it, Father. Give us an immunity against it. And make all of our places on here, Lord, like a small Goshen wherever we live, so that we can have things and we can have it abundantly, Father, and not have to worry about anything. And I pray that none of us become stressed or worried about the events of the world, because, Father, in Matthew 24, you told us they must come to pass. They have got to happen. And, Father, for us not to be concerned about it, but that you'll work with us and you'll take care of us through it, as long as we do our part and not just sit back and do nothing now. So, Lord, go with us tonight. We want to give you the honor and glory for all things in our lives, both good and, Lord, even sometimes the things that's bad we know come from you, because sometimes we need to be strengthened now. Just help us all rest comfortable tonight. Thank you for everyone that was in the chat tonight, Lord. I pray that we were a blessing to many tonight. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Okay.
So thank you guys, everybody that gave us a super chat. We really appreciate that.
Yes, we really appreciate that.
We think we went over 700. That's just
according
amazing.
to the chat, we went over 700. Yeah.
Guys, if y'all have questions, just we'll answer them when we can. We promise, and it's easier for us to answer like this on a live stream. Check out Crazy Daze, D-A-Z-E-S. Somebody said I didn't spell it, and they hunted for a while. It is D-A-Z-E-S. I spelled it weird.
Not D-A-Y-E.
Yeah. I spelled it weird because I am weird. And
we didn't have a choice. I think somebody else already had the other name.
Yeah. So, guys, I've got things going on, especially the canning. I put up the canned ham this week on Deep South, but most of the canning is going over on Crazy Days, and just a giveaway. I made it to 8,000, so I did a giveaway. I'm gonna announce the winner tomorrow, hopefully, and y'all check that out because I'd like to be able to mail it out next week. Anything else?
I don't reckon. We just got to get up in the morning and early and try to get the squash that we forgot to pick this afternoon.
Yes, and continue with weeds.
Yep.
That's an all-time. Everybody's looking for a way to.
Everybody's looking for a way to garden without weeds.
Garden without weeds. I'm sorry, here at our place, it is not doable. We've got the ground cover down, but you still have to weed around it. You still have to weed around the plants or something.
Yep.
We've got places we don't have ground cover. We have to weed. We have raised beds that have to be weeded. So you still have a lot to do. It's a lot. You can't garden without weeds.
That's true. And you learn to weed as you pick.
Yes. So, guys, we'll talk to you.
See you guys later or in the next video.
That's it. Bye, guys.
Put your picture on back there. That's all you got. Go to Patreon.